So in cases where, Black families are split up more often statistically, this would have more to do with Black men than white men. This isn't even a white issue if you want to look at statistics. Same with white men being imprisoned. Black people are imprisoned more often in America than white people. In these cases, I think that it's more important to hear what Black MGTOW has to say than what white MGTOW has to say. Like BIGJXXX.
So while everyone was busy worrying about the TikTok ban, did you see Trump's tweet saying about child support? How if you receive child support, you can no longer file for your child for taxes, and the person who pays child support can.
Greetings and salutations. This is BIGJXXX here. We're going to learn a word today, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to learn the word comprehension, right? And the reason why we're going to learn about this word, because there's a difference between reading, understanding, and comprehending of what you have read. See, the problem with this sector YouTube, and the links will be in the description box. Let me say this again. The links will be in the description box. And since Angryman put this asinine, idiotic gesture out here, this clown show, not fully understanding the contents of Trump's what he thinks is Donald Trump's child support law. If he actually would read the law, he will understand. Well, anyway, let's read the definition of comprehend. This from the Webster Dictionary. Verb, comprehend. To grasp the understanding and meaning of. Oh, I'm sorry. To grasp the meaning of. Understand. To include comprehensible. Adjective. Well, I ain't gonna read all that, but you understand what I'm saying, right? But I guess we can go to another definition, right? We can go to another definition, and let's talk about this real quick. To grasp the nature, significance, or meaning of. To contain or hold within a total scope, significance, or amount. To include by construction or implication. That is the definition of the term comprehend. One is from Webster Dictionary. The other one's from the other. I forgot the other dictionary I had, but I'll put that in the links in the description box. But let me go ahead and be a smart ass real quick. Let me be an arrogant prick for a minute. I mean, I just gotta do it. To comprehend is to mentally grasp something, complete nature or meaning. Comprehend is thus often a bit stronger than understand. For example, you may understand the instructions of a handbook without completely comprehending its purpose. Comprehend's second meaning is less common. Using that sense of a word, we could say that manners comprehend, that is, includes more than simple table eloquent. For example, are the true courage comprehends more than just physical showing off. And something comprehensive includes a great deal, so a comprehensive exam, for example, includes all material that is studied in the course. Now, if you can't understand, if you can't grasp what's being said, you got no business talking about politics. You got no business talking about social affairs. You got no business talking about anything. And if you in a relationship with a woman, you got no business being with a woman at this point, or being a parent. If you can't comprehend the meaning of words, you might need to go back to the drawing board, go back to kindergarten. Because I'm getting tired of grown men. And Angryman is not the only person who I'm talking about, because in the link in the description box, like I said, you'll find another video of other African American men cheerleading about child support and not knowing what's in that bill. But I'm glad, and since I'm here, right, we're going to talk. I'm going to bring up a news article from Newsweek, which entitles Child Tax Credit Changes Trump Could Make to U.S. Laws, by Sophie Clark. Y'all might want to read. The child tax credit may decrease under Donald Trump's administration if the newly inaugurated president does not extend the deadline of his 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, aka the TJCA legislation, set to expire in 2026. The child tax credit was also expanded to include 70-year-olds under former President Joe Biden, and it is unclear whether the Trump administration will maintain this change. Why it matters. The child tax credit is a tax benefit given to people with children under 17. It is certainly $2,000 for each qualifying child, but could change if Trump administration does not extend the TJCA. The current gap. The current gap of benefits is $200,000 for single filers and $400,000 for joint filers if the TJCA expires. the benefits will return to only serving single filers up to 75,000 or joint filers up to 110,000. Is Trump changing child support laws? In his first term, Trump approved paid parental leave for federal employees. While this policy was popular, it only applies to federal workers, leaving many working parents without paid parental leave. Trump's wider first term plan for paid maternal leave, which would have been paid for FILA changes in the tax code, did not pass through the government. It was only for new mothers, not new fathers. It was critiqued by the child care advocacy group Child Care Aware of America, the CCAA, for not considering that in 2017. 40% of family breadwinners were mothers. Let me repeat that again. 40% of family breadwinners were mothers. 40%. Additionally, this would not serve families with two dads or single fathers. This time, Trump has not mentioned any child care proposals for his second term in office. Vice President J.D. Vance told Charlie Kirk in September that families could rely on grandparents for help with child care. Vance also suggests that people who do not have children should pay higher taxes than people with children. And Hedgepeth, the senior vice president, policy and research at CCAA, spoke with Newsweek about this administration's child care plan, saying that when the president and vice president were asked to come up with a plan for policy changes in the ways to bring down the price of child care during the election, they did not have one. However, she knows the areas that are priorities for the new administration, such as the tax code, where child care can fit in. Hedgepeth, I hope I announced her name right, also said the amount of discussion that she saw over the election about the cost and accessibility of child care show what a big issue it is to parents and people who want to become parents in the future. And she stressed how good child care is not only an immediate benefit to families today, but having children who are able to access places that enable healthy, safe development will benefit the U.S. as a whole in the long term. Do you pay taxes on child support? People who qualify for the child tax credit still pay other taxes, but the child tax credit is a tax break given to people who qualify for it. It is people who earn under 200,000 and have children under 17. Parents who separated and are obligated to pay child support still pay taxes as well. How much is the child tax benefit in the United States? Under Trump's tax plan, the child tax credit is $2,000 for each qualifying child. It rose during the pandemic to 3,600, but is set to fall back to 1,000 unless the TJCA is renewed. The Senate had the opportunity to expand the child tax credit without it being tied to the TJCA in August of 24. However, that bill fell short of a 60 vote majority it needed to pass. What are people saying? The House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Jason Smith, in a statement, raising a family can be challenging enough without Washington pulling the rug out under parents. But that's exactly what will happen if the 2017 Trump tax cuts are allowed to expire next year. Donald Trump states it's a very important issue, but I think when you talk about the kind of numbers that I'm talking about, child care is child care. You know, you have to have it in this country. You have to have it. Vice President J.D. Vance, in an interview with Charlie Kirk, sorry about that, but let me go ahead and read the rest of it. Vice President J.D. Vance, in an interview with Charlie Kirk in 2021, if you're making 100,000, 400,000 a year, and you got 3 kids, you should pay a different lower tax rate than if you are making the same amount of money and you don't have any kids. And Hedgepath, Senior Vice President, Policy and Research at the CCAA, it makes a big difference for children to be in safe places that foster the healthy development and be a great place for families to live and the employers to operate, benefit, and have high quality child care and early learning. So there's a lot of reasons to make the investment, and a lot of it pays off in dividends over the immediate and long term. What happens next? The TJCA is set to sunset in 2026. It must be repassed as a new tax package by Congress. Before then, it remained the law of the land. The House and Senate are both Republican controlled until at least the midterm elections in 2026. So it's likely that a favorable Trump policy will be passed in both chambers. Now, I'm glad we read this, but we're going to look. I want people to do their diligence in reading the bill itself, the law that was passed in 2027, that people like Angryman believe it was something new to hinder black women, right? Well, if you look at the bill and you look at what was passed and what was proposed, you will only get the benefit if let me say it again, you will get the benefit if some of you Manosphere, SYSBM, MGTOW, all incel noodleheads, if you actually were read the bill itself. Those who have 50% of the time with child, you will receive the benefits of the tax credit, and then in child support, aka within the child support included. You see, reading, ladies and gentlemen, is fundamental. Reading is fundamental. And this is the reason why y'all voted for Trump. You manosphere, SYSBM, you guys who have problems with women, y'all voted for Donald Trump under this idea of punishing women, particularly in this case, black women, when it comes to child support. When if you don't see your children within 50% of the time, therefore you're still screwed. If that child, if you're not the custodial parent, let me re-say this again. If you are not the custodial parent, which means though you don't see the child more than 50% of the time, I don't care, it's 45%. All you weekend daddies, you see the kids on the weekend, or see the kid every time there's football season or basketball season, you're still gonna pay the tax. You're not gonna receive the benefit. Why? Because you're not raising them kids, and it's the government forcing you men, not the women, you men, to stay with the mother of your children, while you're on YouTube trying to shame, blame, and explain. That's right. Get mad if you want. The facts doesn't. No, the facts matter, not your opinion. The truth matters, not your fragile feelings. And in this case, man, I gotta sit here, man, and tell y'all, butterflies in the sky. I can go Christ as high. Take a look. It's in a book. It's reading rainbow. I can't go anywhere. No, I can't. Oh, see that? I messed up right there. Can't go anywhere. See, y'all got to start reading. Stop coming on YouTube because you mad because this is your group therapy session because you refuse to touch some grass and put some boots on the ground and solve your real issue. My name is BIGJXXX, and in your heart, you know that I'm right.